And Julia, just give me a heads up. Can you guys hear the audio okay?
Yep.
The music? Perfect. Awesome. Well, as I mentioned, I like to always start off by the story and the genesis of where this all came about. Ever since I was 2 years old, and I'm telling you guys, to this day, my parents still have no idea where this came from because they've never been anywhere in Africa before. They said I was so captivated and fascinated and connected to African culture since I was a toddler in my diapers. I used to run around the house drumming, dancing, singing, believing I was a part of this tribe. And my dream, unlike most children here in the States that want to go to Disney World for their birthday, get toys for their birthday, my dream was to go to Africa, to immerse myself into the culture, into the lifestyle in that part of the world. Well, at the age of 14 years old, I had some family friends living here in the States who were from Kenya that invited me to come stay with them and their family for an entire summer. Now, as you ladies can only imagine, going to a world so different than our own, staying with local families, immersing myself throughout the local communities and the surrounding villages, traveling around Kenya with the local guidance by my side every step of the way, I was able to get an experience unlike any tourist could ever imagine. And that first summer I touched down in Kenya, I truly felt at home. I fell in love, and I kept going back to Kenya every single year, building such extensive relationships all across the country. Well, 6 years ago, I actually stepped down from my family-owned business here in the United States, and I had a bigger vision and a bigger purpose in my life. And I always had a dream that I wanted to get back out to Kenya to create a business that supported these communities by creating ongoing jobs, long-term opportunities, and providing resources that are well needed. When I decided to step down from my family business, I started going on a soul searching adventure. What do I do now? Do I build something? Do I manufacture something? What do I do to create a business that supports these communities and creates a lot of jobs? And I came to realize that I've grown up with a blessing of different experiences. I was able to really connect on a deep level with Kenya's culture, its people, its tribes. I was able to really immerse myself into what Kenya is so well known for. Again, its wildlife, its beaches, its culture, but most importantly, its hospitality. So 6 years ago, when I founded my company, SkyN, we were destined to be able to duplicate the same immersive, authentic, transformative, and sustainable experiences I have of traveling across Kenya, but to see it more through the lens of a local, while in return creating a sustainable impact for the local communities that really makes a difference in their lives and a brightening their futures. So that's one thing I want to highlight, ladies, is that aside from what you get out of this trip in regards to this immersive journey, going to a world and exploring on such different levels, your engagement is making a huge impact with these communities. All our travelers the last 5.5 years have been traveling with us. They've always told us that one of the biggest reasons they would like to be able to go on a trip like this is, again, for their own sake of it, but also to be able to really support communities that you will go down there and actually engage yourself and see how SkyN is making a difference. Here's a quick message from the founder video.
My name is Skylar Mason. Ever since I was a young boy, I have traveled to different parts of Africa, living amongst the locals. I truly believe that the best way to travel is to see it how a local would see it. I created SkyN because I want to give the same experiences to travelers who want to immerse themselves into this beautiful and captivating, fascinating culture through the lens of a local. When you go on a SkyN experience, it's truly going to transform your life. But it's not only going to transform your life, it's going to transform the lives of others. By your engagement, you are creating job opportunities for local families to host and welcome you into their homes. The proceeds that these families get, they give it back to their communities, back to their villages, and it truly makes a difference. From the beautiful beaches of Mombasa, wildlife, its culture, to all the different tribal villages, your host family will be by your side to make sure your trip is one you will never forget. Kenya has changed my life, and I know it will change yours.
Now, throughout this entire presentation, I'm going to be highlighting many unique elements of what makes SkyN so special and very different than other suppliers out there selling Africa. And one of the biggest concepts that makes us unique is that we connect our travelers with highly vetted local host families. Now, please be aware, there is options where part of you guys can stay with a family during your time in Nairobi, and part can also stay in a hotel if you wish. But this is an opportunity when you come to Nairobi, which is the capital city of Kenya. On Julie's itinerary, 5 nights will be spent in Nairobi. This is an opportunity to be able to culturally connect with a highly vetted host family to get such a really unique, authentic experience of being able to cook with them, cherish moments with them, learn about their family traditions, their culture, to learn about local life in Kenya. Now, all our host families are highly vetted. They speak fluent English. They go through high amounts of internal comprehensive training, and they're also background and screened through the government each and every year. Now, please be aware, at the end of this presentation, I will be walking you guys through the different accommodations to show you what some of our suburban Nairobi homestays look like. I'd love to introduce you to some of our host families.
Jambo.
We are the
Muhindi family.
We welcome you to Kenya.
Blue Sky in adventures to enjoy our beautiful country, our hospitality, and our warmth.
Hope to see you soon.
When these guests come to our homes, they are able to learn more about our country, our weather, our culture, even our type of food.
When guests come to your home, they become part of your family.
What's really cool about the experience of getting connected to a local host family is that we're going to connect you ahead of time through a series of video chats. Leading up to your trip, you're going to be able to engage, meet, get to know your local host family. So as you guys can imagine, once you arrive into Kenya, you're not staying with strangers, you're staying with family friends. Another thing, a really cool thing to know about our travel is that we understand that going to a place like Kenya, Africa, there's a lot of unknowns, there's a lot of uncertainties. We also want to make sure that before you even step foot on any plane, Julie, myself, our director of operations, our on the grounds team, and then again, your host family, if applicable, we are going to walk you guys through with multiple video chats leading up to your trip to help set expectations, thoroughly walk through your itinerary, help answer any questions along the way, help assist you with any pre-travel requirements, and to make sure that once you get on that plane, stepping foot into flying to Kenya, you are taken care of every way, shape, or through. Our travelers, our partners, they love this opportunity because it makes them to feel special, and it makes it to feel really personal. These video chats also allows us to really get to know our clients and our travelers by us enabling us to know far in advance if you guys have any food allergies, any sensitivity to foods. Again, if you're gluten-free, vegetarian, we can handle all those different food restrictions or requirements. If you have any handicaps, anything like that, we want to get to know our travelers far in advance. So again, we can best accommodate you once you get down to Kenya. Now, another unique thing that makes Skyen so special is the indigenous tribal villages we take our travelers to. I'm not quite sure if you guys have been to Kenya. I would assume not, and you probably don't know what kind of goes on in Kenya, but a lot of companies, they provide various commercialized experiences with the tribes. What that really looks like is that travelers walk up to a pop-up village. They actually don't live there. They just built it to put on a demonstration. You have a park here sign, you pay as you walk in as an entrance fee, you sit on a bench and you watch performers perform. It's known as being a commercialized, non-authentic experience. Here at Skyen, in Julie's itinerary, we are going to be taking you to 2 separate indigenous tribes for private, exclusive experience, all-day experiences with 2 different tribes. The picture on the top is the well-known Maasai tribe. And again, please note, these are villages and tribes that I grew up with. I speak their language. I've been a part of their community since I was a very young boy. I put these experiences together with the chief of these communities, which you guys will be able to meet. When you come to our experience, you usually are in the village for about 4 to 5 hours. You're going to be dressed like villagers. You're going to eat an authentic village lunch with the villagers. You're going to meet and engage with the chief of the community. You're going to storytell with the tribal elders inside their huts. Learn all the different roles of the woman and the warriors, all from the roots of it all. Please note, when you guys come to the village, we block off that entire day for only your group. So this is a completely 100% private and exclusive experience where you're getting such a deep exploration of who they are, their culture, their traditions, and rituals from the roots of it all. But most importantly, you are making a sustainable impact for these communities during your engagement while you are there. Another cool thing about that we received last year in October of 2023 is Skyen was awarded into the Kenya Tourism Board Signature Experience Collection. This is a very prestigious collection that's with the Kenya Tourism Board. It took over 1.5 years of an audit. Our village experiences got awarded into the collection because we truly define authenticity, sustainability, and immersion within our experiences. Now here's a video to introduce you guys to both the Maasai and Mijikenda tribes.
People always ask me, What makes Sky Inn so special? So unique. So different than the rest. It's the ability of being able to connect our travelers directly to the tribal villages. There's nothing commercialized. There's nothing fake. This is no demonstration. We take you to real live villages where you immerse yourself in every aspect. Meeting with the elders, engaging with the chiefsmen.
Welcome to Mijikenda.
Learn the roles of the woman and the warriors of it all. And this is what makes Sky Inn so special and so unique.
It's the most enriching experience, and I'm so grateful. We feel blessed to be here.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing.
One thing is you're going to see right there, travels that touch the soul. When you guys can literally go into these communities, into these villages, again, coming from tribes that we don't come from here in our own country, Western world, it really gives you a whole new perspective on life. I can tell you how many different stories our travelers, they come in and they get touched by all the different experiences that we provide. Because again, at the end of the day, when you guys can really go to a place that you don't look like them, you don't sound like them, you don't act like them, you don't come from where they come from, but they treat you like you're one of them. Those are the little signs that the universe provides us that allows us to be able to appreciate things, honor things, accept things in such a different way. So that's one thing when I designed my company, I wanted to make sure that we really purely and truly offer these authentic experiences with these tribes. Again, villages that I grew up with. When you walk in there to these villages, you're going to see pictures of me with them growing up in their mud huts. I mean, it's just, that's my relationship with these villages and with these tribes. So again, it's to provide travelers such a deeper exploration of what the typical tourist gets to see. Now, another amazing thing that people really do not know about Kenya is that how beautiful and tropical and pristine the white sand, turquoise, warm water beaches are in Kenya. People have heard of Seychelles, they've heard of Zanzibar. That's pretty much right off the coast of Kenya. Seychelles off the coast, Zanzibar is literally right off the coast of Tanzania on the border of Kenya and Tanzania. Now, when you guys come on Julie's itinerary, we're going to be staying 4 nights on the coast. But you're not just going to be posted up on the beaches every single day. We're going to offer some authentic excursions as well. One of the tribes that I mentioned to you guys, the Mijikenda tribe, they're known as the tree people. So as opposed to the Maasai that live in the open savannas, they're all about livestock and herding. The Mijikenda live in the sacred kaya forest. This is a lush forest made up of palm trees. They're all about natural herbs and remedies and holistic lifestyle and fortune telling. So one of our tribes is off the coast. Another cool thing that we offer is historical slave trade tours. So you're going to go around and be able to go to this world famous fort, as well as these Shimoni slave caves where they used to hold the slaves underground inside these caves. You can almost envision it because they still have the chain hanging from the rocks. It's like such a touching experience. And then aside from, again, enjoying some beautiful R&R on the beach, rest and relax at beautiful beachfront resorts, we also offer this really cool, authentic sailing excursion on these traditional dhow boats. We're going to go dolphin sighting. We're going to go snorkeling in some of the most pristine coral reefs and waters that, again, we had a group in December. It was a mother and daughter. They've traveled the world, and they're professional scuba divers. They said Kenya was in their top 3 for the best scuba diving they've ever done. Again, we offer scuba diving, but this excursion that we're going to do with Julie is snorkeling, and you're going to love it. Love to be able to introduce you to what our dhow sailing excursions look like.
This is the most amazing snorkeling I've ever done. I swam with wild dolphins in the Indian Ocean.
Thanks to sky in. Ooh la la.
I see everybody has a smile on their face now. Can't guarantee that you're going to actually swim with wild dolphins, but again, you're going to be in an environment where they do come into the marine park, and gives you the opportunity to swim with them if you get your, you get good luck. Another big thing that makes Kenya so spectacular, as we all know, is its exotic wildlife. Yes, of course, safaris. Kenya is one of the top destinations to be able to go on a safari. We all know the famous movie, The Lion King, that's based in Kenya. One thing that Kenya is also really well known for is its wildlife conservation sanctuaries. In Julie's itinerary, we're going to be taking you to two. One is the David Sheldrick Baby Elephant Orphanage, and the other one is a Giraffe Centre, which you can see the photos right here. This is an opportunity for travelers to come to be able to learn about the conservation and actually be able to get hands-on with the animals. Again, these are not zoos. These are some of the most top well-known conservation sanctuaries in the entire continent of Africa and in the world, essentially, where they rescue, rehabilitate, and reintroduce these wild animals back into the wild. So it's a really cool experience. Again, going to a baby elephant orphanage, you're going to actually get to see and pet the baby elephants, and then going to a Giraffe Center where you actually get to feed them in their natural habitat. It is such a really cool exotic experience. And then, of course, going on a wildlife safari. Now we are going on a 3-night luxurious safari on Julie's itinerary in January. We're going to be going to 2 different national parks. Probably the top 2 national parks you can go to in Kenya. One is going to be Lake Nakuru, and then the other one is going to be the jewel of Kenya, rated one of the top safari destinations in the entire continent of Africa, Masai Mara National Reserve. This is going to be an opportunity for you to see all the exotic animals. Between those 2 national parks, you're really going to be able to spot every single animal, because the only animal I really have never seen in Masai Mara, which they do live, it's just hard to get to, is the rhinos. But Lake Nakuru, you're guaranteed to see the rhinos because it's more their environment. So again, you go and be able to see lions, leopards, cheetahs, rhinos, hippos, you name it. If it's an African animal, you'll be able to see it. Some animals you want to avoid, like maybe the big boa constrictors and stuff, python, those are things you kind of want to avoid. But that's what's really cool about, as you guys can see in this excursion that we're going to be offering, it's such an authentic blend of culture, of beaches, of adventure, of wildlife, and then, of course, the hospitality. Here at Sky Island, so we have teams and offices both in the United States as well as in Kenya. I bring this up for you guys is because we have a team and office based in Denver, Colorado. If you guys decide to book, all communication and all payments will be to our Denver office in US dollars. You're not having to send money overseas. You're not having to communicate with anybody overseas. You're dealing with our US office. But on the other hand, now we have an entire team and operations based in Nairobi, Kenya. So once you actually get to Kenya, you have an entire team on the ground, 100% locals with you 24/7 throughout your entire trip. That is a big highlight why a lot of our partners, such as Julie and her clients and their travelers, they love working with us, is because you have on the ground team the entire time, which you actually will get to meet ahead of time through video chats. Our director of operations, her name is Joy. She's been with me since day one for 5.5 years since we established Sky Inn. And again, our travelers love that. You guys know that once you get down to Kenya, you will be taken care of, rest assured, all the way through.
Do they call her Mama Joy or something like that?
Mama Joy is her mother. So Mama
okay.
Joy, yeah, Mama Joy. So in the Kenyan culture, you are referred to as your youngest child. So again, if Joy is her youngest out of her 3 children, so they refer to her as Mama Joy, which Mama Joy is actually my mother. She was the one that brought me in since day one.
Oh.
She's this beautiful lady in the pink to the right. That's Mama Joy. She happens, this is coincidentally, is wearing the same thing in this picture. She wears that dress anytime she has a very fit, big meeting or something like that. But again, the ability to go to that part of the world and connect with these mothers, connect with these families, both indigenous and suburban. Again, anybody can sightsee, anybody can bring home beautiful pictures and souvenirs, but it's the connections, it's relationships, and it's the perspectives of life that you bring back to the States with your own home that you treasure forever. Now, our specialty is all-inclusive. Disregard the single/multi-day. We also sell independent cultural experience as well to people who already do safaris. But with Julie, this is something for you guys. What's really cool is that we're a one-stop shop. So the second you get down to Kenya to the second you take off, we take care of everything for you. All your accommodations are included, and we will be providing double and single occupancy. All your private transportation, your domestic airfare, all your meals, your experiences, your safari, everything in destination is all taken care of. This is not like going to a place like Europe. I've been to Europe many times. I've couch surfed. I've literally have showed up and not even know where I'm going to sleep that night. It's a lot different. When you go to Africa, whether you one day, if you guys go and whoever you choose to travel with to Africa, hopefully it's us and Julie, please make sure you do your due diligence. Look into the companies you use, because again, this is not an experience where you just piecemeal. Oh, I'm going to go purchase my own accommodation myself. I'm going to rent my own car myself. I'm going to book this myself. You want to go with a really credible company because they really take care to provide you insights and tips, personal resources, but most importantly, to ensure your safety and security. Now let's get into accommodations. This is important. So sorry, it's been a long day. During Julie's 12-day excursion, we're taking you all across the country, okay? For 5 nights, you will be spent in Nairobi, the capital city. While you're in Nairobi, we offer 2 options you could be hosted. One is these beautiful, authentic homestays, suburban homestays. I highlight suburban. Why? Because they have the same amenities you and I are used to at our own homes. They all have complete private bedrooms and bathrooms, hot water showers, electricity, Wi-Fi, and very safe, secured, monitored, and vetted neighborhoods. So please rest assured, everything is highly vetted. But we understand that there are some travelers that, they don't necessarily they want to connect with the host family, but they don't want to spend the overnight. So certainly if you guys want to be able to stay at a boutique hotel, we will be offering that as well. So please note on Julie's itinerary, she will be hosted at this one. It's called the Boma Nairobi. It is a very, very well-known hotel. It's one of our top favorites that we choose. I'm going back to Kenya actually in about a month and a half, and the group we're doing, part of them are staying at the hotel too. So please note that. For the 5 nights in Nairobi, you can stay at a beautiful, authentic suburban homestay. And these are some of the exact examples of some of our homestays. Or you could stay at a beautiful boutique hotel in Nairobi as well. Keep in mind, it will not change up the excursion or the experience. What we do is people that stay at the hotel or the homestays in the morning after breakfast, the drivers will pick you guys up. You'll come together. You'll do the trip, the day excursion, and you go back to your representative homestay or hotel during dinner and overnight. While we take you to the coast, we're going to host you a beautiful beachfront resort right on the water, overlooking the ocean. On Julie's 12-day excursion, you'll be spending 4 nights on the coast. Actually, the first 3 nights will be at Swahili Beach Resort. You can see right here, Swahili, and then this big picture right here, that's Swahili Beach Resort. And then for the last night on the coast, you'll be spending the night at Sarova White Sands. The reason it's 3 in 1 is due to logistics-wise. So we have to be able to host you to get to a different experience that we're going to provide you in the day. We host you at a different resort to give you a different flavor and different twist of what a resort is, but also for logistic purposes. And then while you're on safari, please note, these are not exact accommodations. I will be showing you her exact accommodation. This one is right here, actually, Sarova Mara. But I will be showing you on her exact adventure guide what the accommodations will be hosting you for her excursion, okay? But what's really cool about this excursion, while you're on your 3-night safari, you guys are going to have the glamping experience. You're going to spend 1 night at a safari lodge that's on top of this hill overlooking the entire national park and its lake.
That sounds amazing. I'm so excited.
It's incredible. And I'll show you pictures in a minute. The other one is actually this camp right here, Sarova Mara Camp, one of my favorites. It is the ultimate glamping experience. So think about being in a tent that has furniture, has a bathroom, has electricity, etc. But last time I was there, I was personally there back in June. I brought my brothers for the first time ever. We heard male lions literally laying in our tent. And my brothers would text me saying, "Did you just hear that?" I mean, talk about an erotic experience, being able to literally lay in your bed. Keep in mind, they're gated, they're safe. I mean, I don't want to alarm that you're going to get attacked. But please know, it's such a cool experience being able to see and hear the animals and the wildlife around you.
Okay, Skylar, just so they can't get you, right? There's like fences and stuff.
Yes, you will be. Okay. Trust me, they're electric fences, so they can't get near you. The safety and security is their number 1 priority at all these properties and lodges. So I don't want to alarm you, but you will be in the wild. I mean, literally. Yeah,
you can hear them out there in the beyond.
Yep, the hyenas. If you sometimes not where you're saying that, but other properties you can hear the hippos if you're right near the riverbank.
Wow.
elephants. You can hear the lions roaring. I mean, it's a really, really cool experience. During your guys' 12-day excursion, you will always be in a private company vehicle with a private company driver. Okay, so please rest assured you're never going to be in public means. The only time you will be is we're taking a domestic flight going to and from Nairobi to Mombasa and back. But the rest of the time you will be in private transportation the entire time. Even airport pickup, drop off, everything will be in a private labeled vehicle with Skyen, as well as our drivers as well. So just so you guys know, during your day-to-day in the villages, because we're doing a group excursion, the day-to-day from in the city, in Mombasa, the beaches, as well as the villages, you will be in our vans. And then on safari, you're going to be in our 4x4 Land Cruisers. Really cool experience. So you can stand out, the roof pops up, you have a 360-degree panoramic view of what's all in front of you. Last but not least, would love to be able to provide you guys a testimonial video of what some of our past travelers had to say about their experience on journeying with us.
I met Sydney about 4 years ago, and since then we've been kind of talking about exploring the world together.
We chose Skyen because of the ability to see so many different things.
They were able to immerse us into the actual culture and the host families. They were there to really show us what it is to be a real local.
At the end of the trip, I considered them to be family. Going to the beach was definitely a highlight for me.
Watching wildlife, going to these indigenous tribes that not many tourists are able to go to, it was something that I will never forget.
What's really awesome about Skyen is they care about being able to support the local community.
We were able to go to the orphanage. It really showed me that no matter where you are in the world, we're all in this together.
Skyen touched our soul and made us see life so much differently, and that's the only way I will travel now.
I have one more video to wrap up this presentation, to take you guys on an incredible journey and show you what the journey all awaits.
It's time to experience Africa in a whole new way. Anyone can travel like a tourist, but with Skyen, you become a local. Skyen helps you experience travel in a unique, authentic way by not just seeing the culture, but living it. With Skyen, we connect you to our local host families long before your trip even begins. After months of breaking the ice, meeting your family for the first time feels just like coming home. Gather around the family table and experience what true African home cooking is all about. Venture off throughout Nairobi and really see where the locals go. Step outside your comfort zone and immerse yourself in unique adventures you won't and can't have anywhere else. Don't just see a village, but live in one of ours for a once-in-a-lifetime experience. Dip your feet into the beautiful sandy beaches of Mombasa. Get up close and personal with nature. Go on a safari and see animals in their own natural habitats. See firsthand the vibrancy of the Maasai and their unique way of life. Sleep under the stars while nature thrives all around you. Travel is best when you are doing it with family. Skyen connects you with our open and loving families who will be there by your side to ensure your trip is one you won't forget. Once you are ready to live like a local, just Sky in Kenya.
And last but not least, I get this question all the time. What does sky in mean? And there actually is a meaning to it. Yes, skyler, sky in, there's some resemblance, of course, but sky in is a verb, to sky in, just like you were to say to dive in. For example, if you were to dive into a pool, you're going to be breaking that water barrier and you're diving deep under. To sky into Kenya, you're breaking that conventional surface of a typical tourist and you're skying deep into the roots, into the foundation of what makes Kenya so spectacular. With that being said, I wrapped up this presentation. Before I dive into the adventure guide, I would love to see Julie, or does anybody else have any questions for me so far? Anything like that? No?
Sorry. I just had like 3 questions.
Yeah, please.
So the flight to the beach, is it just like a local plane, or what sort of commercial plane? What is it?
It's a local commercial plane. So keep in mind, they have an airport. You have to go to an airport. You got to go through security. Yeah. It's 2 seats by 2 seats, and it goes 30 rows back. But it's a 1-hour flight. It's it's one of those planes where you do like walk outside and up the ramp into the plane. I mean, the planes look normal as always, as you know, with where you can check your bags in, you can put them up top. But it's a 1-hour flight, so it's a very quick. By the time you're up, you already feel like you're coming down.
Okay. And then another question, there was a day where you can schedule different excursions if you'd like, or you could just hang out at the hotel. So what if I did, would you guys help find an excursion for me to do during that time?
Yeah, let me walk you through the, have you seen the adventure guide yet?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay. So on that extra day, I think you're referring to that leisure day. I know it sounds like you probably want to get out and about. A lot of people, I'm telling you, they say they're up to it. Once they get on that day, they're like, I just enjoy relaxing. It's right in the middle of the itinerary. You're doing a sailing excursion before, you're visiting the our Masai tribe before that. Also, there's going to be days you're going to be waking up relatively early, maybe around 6:30. So again, people like to have that off day. What we typically do is on that day, if there's other little extra activities, maybe camel riding on the beach or parasailing, you go to the concierge at the resort. They'll be able to assist you right then and there.
Okay. All right. And then you said a hot air balloon safari. What's that?
That is an option as well. Yeah, so that is an additional add-on, just so you know. What that is that on the last day in the Masai Mara, you have a full day. In the morning, before dawn, you're going to go out to a hot air balloon. It's a 1-hour hot air balloon safari. So you're going to be in a shared hot air balloon. Usually has about 8 to 10 people in the hot air balloon. You're going to go up and you're going to go on a safari and look for animals. Our last group in December did that for, they saw a pride of lions from up top from a bird's eye view. It's a really cool experience. Just a heads up, it's a little pricey. It's about $475 per person. But it's an extremely, extremely exotic experience. So if you can make, budget that in,
that's a check off my list. Hot air balloon ride for real. I would love to do
some
that
people, if they want to do it, they can. It can be optional as well. I know people don't necessarily want to spend $475 for a 1-hour hot air balloon. So we think that's an option. So again, if people don't want to do it, they'll stay back at the camp and they'll wait. And then by the time they get back, they'll be, it's a early morning. So you're like literally going up by the time before sun sets up.
For sunrise, yeah. Sounds
so
cool though.
You do the hot air balloon, you come back, and then you go to another drive safari.
Safari drive, yeah.
Okay, got it. And then on one more question, so with the families, like if I was going to stay with the family, are we like, should we bring them stuff from the States? Like,
we'll be going.
Is there gifts, or I mean, is that something that is expected, or we should, or it's only what we want, or I don't know, like how does all that work?
It's a great question, and again, we would make it before you even get on the train before you get on a plane. We're going to be walking you through what we think. We're going to send you a pre-travel guide that has like cultural tips, packing list, pre-travel recommendations. But yes, typically when people do stay with a host family, they bring some sort of gift, and the gift is not necessarily like you're not providing the money. It's more about like something that resembles you. Some people bring, t-shirts or hats that resemble where they come from, your city, your state, what you like, your national park, if you live near one. your team, if you're a sports team where you are. We had somebody from our last group in literally last month in January. She was a quilter, and so she quilted like a whole little like blanket for her host family. So again, we'll go over all that and we'll give you some ideas and things. I mean, we have people bring like chips that are very authentic. We had someone from Minnesota that brought these, just unique things that resemble them, because that's what they love. You're gonna meet that our host family. Yes, they're there and we pay them well, and it's a really good income for them. But the reason why they do this is they love hosting. They love meeting new people. It's just like in their veins. That's what they enjoy the most. So when you do stay with them, they like things that resemble you, because when they can see it, wear it, use it, they know and they can think about you, if that makes sense.
And they have a story to tell other people when someone asks them about something that they're wearing or something in their house, then it's probably like a little conversation starter.
Yeah, for sure. So that's great questions. And but please keep in mind, I mean, if you do book, once we're about a few months out, we're going to really start getting into the whole prepping stage, and we're going to start sitting down. And again, if you have questions along the way, you could call, text, whatever that looks like as well. But we really do well prepare you to know like how much to tips, what to prepare for laundry. We walk you through all that, so you have that all ahead of time.
Yeah, we'll have more Zooms kind of scheduled, maybe like once a month, once we get a little closer, to kind of give everybody a chance to pop in on the Zoom, ask questions or hear the updates, and then get all the little things handled, because we're all going to be like excited and just, oh, what about this? What about that? Yeah.
Any other questions so far? Vanya, anything from you? I can now get into the adventure guide.
I don't know. No, I'm just listening. I'm just processing. Gathering information and processing.
Awesome.
It's more excitement than worries. So far. So
good. Absolutely. So I'm going to share my screen now. I'm going to show you the adventure guide. Sounds like you guys already have. Just to walk you through it real quick. Give me 1 second. Okay, here we go.
I noticed a little thing in the adventure guide, Skylar, today. Yep. Kenya's is visa free now.
Yep. Kenya is.
Yay, we should update that.
Yeah, actually our new guides do have it. I can update yours for sure. Our new guides all have that updated. So yes, I could definitely, have my team update that and provide that back to you for sure. But yes, Kenya, starting in January of this year, Kenya is now visa free. You do have to sign and fill out a ETA, which means electronic traveler authorization. Sorry, electronic traveler's authorization. It's super simple. It's very easy. It's $30. It's a lot more simpler than doing it and having to apply for a visa and all that stuff. So keep that in mind. So this is our adventure guide. I'm just going to skimmily walk you guys through. I mean, you guys could take the time to read it. Again, with the tribal village, this is my family. I grew up with them. I've been with them for a long, long time. Everything I do is to be able to support them. So you guys will actually get to come and immerse yourself. And keep this in mind. It's a full private experience. So there's not going to be other tourists, because I get this question a lot. Is there going to be other groups that show up at the same day? No, we block that entire day just for you guys. Okay. Talking about, talk about the whole video chat. You'll be able to meet your host families ahead of time. Again, our travelers love this because it just breaks that ice. You feel like you literally land there and you feel like you already know them. Instead of just shaking their hand, hey, nice to meet you, I'm here to stay with you. You're like, finally, we actually get to see each other after spending a couple months getting to know each other far in advance. Getting into the accommodations. So again, these are just example pictures. Because you're so far booked out, we don't know who's staying with who yet with host families, but these are actual images of what some of our rooms look like. So private, comfortable bedrooms, hot water showers, electricity, Wi-Fi, very safe, secure, and monitored neighborhoods. Again, if you guys decide not to stay in a homestay for those 5 nights, you will be staying at the Buma Hotel. You'll see that on the adventure guide. There is different pricing to show you what that looks like. These are the exact resorts you will be staying at when it comes to your guys is while you're on the coast. And then on the safari, just so you guys know, you're going to be staying at these 2 properties right here. Okay, so you'll be staying at Lake Nakuru Sopa Lodge, 1 night in Lake Nakuru, and then you'll be staying 2 nights at Sarova Mara Camp. All right. Again, you'll be in. Do you have a question?
I just said pretty.
Yeah. They're gorgeous, absolutely. So, and then again, here is our entire local team based in Nairobi. Here is one of the tribes, the Maasai. Now let's get into the itinerary. So on January 3rd is when you guys would need to arrive. So keep in mind, it does take about a day to get there. So you'd have to leave on January 2nd. Just note that if you guys do want a pre-travel night, some people like to arrive a day before because they just want to get the jet lag out of them. We can certainly help assist with that as well and book you a night or the day before for a hotel. So keep that in mind. But you're just required to get there by January 3rd. So again, anytime January 3rd you arrive, that's totally fine. A lot of flights actually land in the evening on January during the days, during the week. So just keep that in mind. But anytime on January 3rd is when you arrive, our team will pick you guys right up. Our drivers, our director of operations will be right outside those airport doors to greet you guys, do a meet and greet, and then take you to your representative homestay or your boutique hotel in Nairobi for dinner and overnight. Day 2, you're going to start off, we like to say, well, yeah, day 2, you're going to start off with a bang. You're going to visit the Baby Elephant Orphanage. You're going to visit the Giraffe Centre. You're going to have lunch at the well-known carnivore restaurant. If you guys are familiar with like Fogo de Chao, Texas de Brazil, those places where it has the meat platters and they walk around, you have little coasters, red or green. That's what the carnivore restaurant is. Please note that if you're vegetarian, they have lots of vegetarian options as well. But it's like a whole jungle theme. It's one of the most well-known restaurants in all of Nairobi. And so we always want to make sure we take you guys there. So you're going to have lunch at the carnivore, and then you're going to just spend the afternoon with your local host family for dinner and overnight stay. Day 3, we're going to visit our Maasai village. This is a full day experience. You're going to leave after breakfast. It does take about 2.5 hours to get to the village. Once you're in the village, you're there for about 4 to 5 hours. You're going to have an authentic village lunch with the villagers. I mean, the full day is to really show you who they are, their culture, traditions, all that. And then you're going to come back to Nairobi for dinner and overnight stay. Again, back at your suburban homestay or your the Boma Hotel. Day 4, we're going to take a short flight to Mombasa. This is a 1-hour flight. By the time you're up, you're already descending down in a way. We're going to visit the Fort Jesus and then do an Old Town City tour around Old Town Mombasa. Fort Jesus has to do with the slave trade, so it's a very more of a historical day. The Swahili culture kind of originates from Mombasa, so there's all this. It's like a melting pot of Arabic, of Swahili, all in Old Town Mombasa. It's a really cool historical day, and we're going to walk you around. They have spice markets, meat markets, to really show you kind of the local lifestyle in Old Town Mombasa. That night, we're going to take you down to Diani Beach, where you're going to spend the night at Swahili Beach Resort. Day 5, you're going to visit, or you're going to do the Wasini Island sailing and snorkeling excursion on those traditional dhow boats. You're going to do dolphin sighting, snorkeling. You're going to have lunch directly on Wasini Island, and then you're going to visit the Shimoni slave caves afterwards. And you're going to spend the night again at Swahili Beach Resort. Day 6, this was the question you had. It's a leisure day. We leave this just open. Again, I totally understand you guys may want activities. A lot of people just enjoy the day to relax on the beach, at the pool, or these resorts have amazing spas as well. Again, that's going to be extra. You'd pay it and pay the resort directly, but amazing spas. So again, we like to leave this day just open because again, you're already doing a lot of different experiences. Every day you're doing different activities. And again, if you are to the point where you're like, kind of bored, you can go to the concierge and they can certainly help you with the day excursion as well. Now, day 9, you're going to visit our other tribe. This is called the Mijikenda Tribe. As I mentioned, they're the coastal tribe. They're known as the tree people. It's a full day experience in a whole different tribe, very different than the Maasai. Completely private, completely exclusive. You're there for about a 4-hour experience with the village, and then you're going to go and spend the night at Saroba White Sands. It's a different resort in Mombasa. Day 8, you're going to have a leisure morning. We're going to take probably about a mid-afternoon flight. Probably say around 3 or 4. Right after lunch, you'll have breakfast. You have a leisure morning. You have lunch at the resort, and then you're going to take an afternoon flight back to Nairobi. And then you're either going to get connected with your host family again, or you're going to stay at the Boma Hotel. Day 9 is we start the safari. Our private safari guides will pick you guys up directly from the homestay or the hotel, and you're going to depart for Lake Nakuru National Park. You're going to get there. You're going to be able to you're going to pass the majestic geographic formation, the Great Rift Valley, on your way, which is a really cool experience. And then you're going to have lunch at the lodge, and then you're going to go out for a full afternoon game drive in the beautiful, surreal land. I mean, it's known for its like scenery. It's just like this lush, swampy lake. It's really, really cool, and they have grasslands, and it's again known for the rhinos, zebras, giraffes, a lot of cats, all that. On day 10, you're then going to visit depart from Masai Mara National Reserve. Again, this is the jewel of Kenya. If you guys look up top places in the entire world for African safari, you're going to see Masai Mara is usually number 1 or number 2. They usually compare to Masai Mara or Serengeti. Serengetis, they're actually connected to each other. Serengeti's on the Tanzania side, while Masai Mara is on the Kenya side. Masai Mara is more, I like to say it's a lot better than Serengeti because it's 9 times smaller. You think about, you go to a bigger national park, it is that much harder to be able to find the animals, and it's so difficult to spot them. So you're going to spend 2 nights in Masai Mara National Reserve. On this day, if we did the hot air balloon safari, again, as an option, and Julie, we can add that so it actually does say that on here if you want to provide that as an option.
Yeah, sure.
Again, $475 more per person for a 1 hour first at dusk at dawn hot air balloon safari. You do it on this day, and then you go out for a full day game drive.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna spend the 2 nights at Sarova Mara camp, and then on day 12 you're gonna leave Masai Mara and you're gonna head back to Nairobi and get reintroduced with your host family or boutique hotel for that day. And on day 13, most flights happen to leave in the evening, so we actually just reserve the stay where we provide the vehicles are all at your leisure. Most people, if the flights they leave in the evening, they like to do like a Nairobi city tour, or they like to go to some more local street markets to get last minute souvenirs, everything like that. But we kind of leave that day open again, depending on when people's flights are. So it's kind of undetermined at this point. You'll see what's all included, excluded as well. And then you will see here are the traveling dates, what the rates go for in regards to a suburban homestay in Nairobi. Keep in mind, that's 5 nights. So when you see suburban homestay in Nairobi, that's 5 nights, or luxury hotel in Nairobi, 5 nights. The rest of the accommodations are all the same. You go to the beaches, everyone's going to stay at the same. You go to the safari, everyone's going to stay at the same as well. Please note, you see the single room supplement. If you do stay in a single room, it is single room the entire 12 nights, okay? Not just a certain period, for the entire 12 nights. However, I know if you guys are open to potentially, if you're booking by yourself, but you guys are like, you know what, I might be open to staying with another lady, to save a little bit of money, we would have you book as a single occupancy. And then if we do get another lady that's open, is okay with doing double occupancy, we will credit back what that single occupancy supplement is on your remaining balance. Please do note, in order to confirm your booking, we do require a non-refundable 30% deposit, and then the remaining balance is not due until November 3rd. So again, if you need to save up, that's an opportunity to save up for the 70%. It's not due until, 8-9 months from now? More than that. Sorry, 11 months from now. 10 months from now. We do accept major credit cards. We accept check, and we accept bank wire. So if you send us a check in the mail, you send us, we do a bank wire, which is just a direct withdrawal from your account. There is no additional fee. However, if you do want to pay with a credit card, we do have to add on an additional 3%. A lot of times people want to put the 3%, especially the deposit, on a credit card, and then the remaining balance you can let us know later on if you want to do, pay with a credit card or a bank wire. Keep in mind, a lot of people, they've been telling us that their points, they get more points putting it on a credit card than, and paying for the additional amount.
Because 3% is like what, $3 or something? $3 on 100.
Yes, that is correct. So if you're looking at, let's just say you did just on the high 6,799. Let's just say you were doing that and you had double occupancy, times that by 3%. You're looking at additional $203. But you get that in points. So a lot of people rack up those points. And then Julie, I know you were going to mention something.
Yeah. So we are able to extend the early bird for like another week. So hopefully you guys are liking the presentation and want to take advantage of the early bird. Yeah, we would love to have you. Love to have you in Kenya.
And $500 off, ladies. I mean, that's a lot of money to me. So please do keep that in mind. All we require is 30% deposit. So that's all we will require right away. You can put it on a credit card, pay it off later, if budget is a factor, of course. And then the remaining balance of 70% will not be due until November 3rd.
I have a question.
Yes.
What's the weather like in January? I mean, throughout the day, does the temperature drop off big time at night?
Is it going to be what?
Does the temperature drop off at night?
It does not. It's going to be hot. You're going to be in their summertime, so it's going to be hot. You're not going to be in their rainy season whatsoever, but it will be hot. So keep that in mind. Every accommodation you guys do go to will have AC in the rooms, except for the safari camp and also the homestays, which we will provide fans. So do keep that in mind. It will be hot. All you're going to be there.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, yeah. I'm just curious. It's not so much that yeah.
It will not drop. No,
AC has to be.
Yeah, you're not. It's not going to be a drastic change. I mean, it's okay. At night, it might be a little more breezier and feel a little more cooler, but you're still.
But it's not like a desert where it can get sometimes. Yeah.
Oh no, not like that whatsoever. No, trust me. I wear t-shirt and shorts and sandals 95% of the time when I'm there.
Oh, like 100 or 90 degrees?
No, I mean, you're looking at probably, it's just, you're going to be at different parts. So when you guys go to the coast, it is very humid. It's hot and humid. Again, all our vehicles will have AC. The resorts we stay you at will have AC in the rooms. When you go more into the national parks, it's a lot more cooler. It's still going to be hot, but it's not nearly as hot. It's a lot more drier. Same thing with the villages. It's drier hot. So it's not like that humid hot. So it fluctuates. I mean, I'm not going to deny it is hot. The sun is strong there. There is a reason why the people there have a darker complexion. So I highly advise you wear sunscreen.
Hats, sunglasses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the good thing is you're not going in, like, you're not necessarily going in the rainy season. You're going in like the hotter, dry season. So you're pretty much guaranteed that it's going to be sunny all day, the whole time.
Mm-hmm. And it's better. I mean, in my opinion, I would rather not be rained on all the time. So.
Yeah.
But you will not need to wear any winter stuff whatsoever.
No hoodies?
No hoodies. Nope. I wear sandals 95%. The only time, and we advise our travelers to not wear sandals, is like when you're in the village, because you're going to be walking quite a bit, and just making sure you have nice, like, comfortable tennis shoes and stuff while you're walking. But the rest of the time, people wear sandals, even on safari and stuff, because you're in a car and all that.
What about like activity level? How do you feel about the activity level?
Yeah, so keep in mind our average demographic is usually 60 years old, so we deal with a lot of older crowd. I know you ladies are not there whatsoever. The only amount of high level activity is going to be more walking. So like when you're in the villages, you kind of walk quite a bit. It's not necessarily steep or at different levels and like hiking. It's just walking around a village.
Mm-hmm.
And the other activity is when you're in the water, like snorkeling and swimming and stuff. But if you're not good swimmers, we do have guides. Our guides like are trained to go in the water with our travelers. So they'll be with you. They'll have buoys to be able to hold on to. So they really help guide you if you're not good swimmers whatsoever. But yeah, there's really not high amounts of physical activity aside from just walking around. Again, when when you're walking around the market, you're walking around the village is probably the most. Again, when you're on when you're on the sailing, you're in the water swimming. And then just keep in mind there are long car rides. The whole point about it is you're going to the wild. You're out there searching for the wild. That's why. So one thing is advisable is that there will be some lengthy car rides, but it's part of the experience. And everywhere you go, there's always something to see. Always. You could be in the most, driving through the city, you're gonna see people smiling and waving. I mean, it's everywhere you go, it's really incredible to see.
What about vaccines?
Yeah, great question. Good thing about Kenya, there is no vaccinations that are required. So keep that in mind. There are some recommended. Okay, yellow fever is one that's recommended. Typhoid is recommended, and then taking malaria tablets is recommended. Malaria tablets is probably one thing I would suggest taking. I take every single time I go. You're not going to necessarily a high extreme level of popularity of malaria, but they do exist because there's mosquitoes, So taking malaria tablets, I mean, nobody has fallen sick. Nobody has gotten ill in any way, shape, or form from any of that. So, but it is also precaution to take. Yellow fever and typhoid is the other two recommended. We always advise visiting a traveling nurse a few months before you guys go to see about any other recommendations they have specifically for you and your health and where you at and stuff, but nothing is required.
Okay. And speaking of mosquitoes, when we stay, I see that there's a netting around the bed.
Every accommodation you'll stay at, even the homestays, all have the netting over the bed. Every single one.
Okay.
But it's not because like you have to have the windows open or that there's no walls or anything. It's just because a lot of people sleep with the open windows and stuff.
Yeah,
right?
and there are mosquitoes. Not a lot. I mean, you're not going to be where they're everywhere. Please do not think that. I mean, by all means, you might see a mosquito from here and there coming around. They do tend to come out more at night. I don't sleep with the mosquito nets. I don't personally. I don't care if I get bitten. You know, I just don't mind them. But yes, every single accommodation, even the homestays, will have draping mosquito nets over the bed because that's when they usually come out more at night. Is at night. But I just don't want you to think they're just going to be infested everywhere. That's not how it is. It's just you do see them from time to time. You know, like if you were to go to a park. You know, like that.
Stupid little bugs.
And if I was to schedule a massage, do I do that in advance or do I do it when we get there?
You would do it
How does
probably.
that work?
Yeah, you'd book it out right when you get there. If you're like for sure certain about it, then what we would do is we would I would have my director of operations send you like day before you get to the resort, send you like their website or their pamphlet or anything, let you you'll tell her what you want, she'll call in the resort and she'll book it for you. Most people just do it while they're there. They just figure, hey, one morning, you know what? I'm deciding for a massage. Let me go to the concierge and book it. But again, if you are like 100 destined for sure, then I'd probably have Joy and this is one thing I forgot to mention. Joy, our director of operations, will be traveling with you guys as well, okay? The only part she will not be traveling with you guys is during the safari, okay? You will have private guides with you, but she will be flying with you to the coast. She'll be going with you to all the different villages throughout the city. She'll be picking you up and dropping you off at the airport with our driver. If you read our reviews, people become best friends with Joy. She's amazing, absolutely amazing. And you're
she's like the group mom or a group chaperone.
Yeah, but she's like in her 30s, so she's not necessarily. I would not refer to her as the mom, but she becomes your best friend. She's the most nicest, caring, outgoing person. She's part of my family. She's her and Mama Joy brought me in when I was a really young boy. She's been with me for my company since day one, and she's phenomenal. And she handles all of our director of operations on the ground in Kenya. But when I did this with Julie, I decided that we're gonna have her join your group and travel with you guys. So that's just an extra reassurance, and you'll get to meet her ahead of time through video chats. And I promise you're gonna fall in love with her. She's amazing.
Julie, is our group women only potentially this trip as well?
No, it's going to be co-ed.
Okay.
So we'll have a mix. We'll have, so far it looks like a couple solo travelers. We might, get a couple or brother, sister, something like that along the way. I think usually my trips have been a mix of solo people and then somebody who brings somebody else or knows somebody else. And that's kind of fun, anywhere from 30s to 70 years old, usually a spread. So it'll be interesting. I mean, we're still early, so we only have a few people booked so far, but it's always interesting to me to see how the trips shake out. So
but no kids, right? Julie, no.
Nobody's asked about bringing a kid. So I don't know.
My son was a contender. Still not sure about it, but he's 12.
Yeah, children, like young children, no, probably not, but maybe there will be more of a teenager child. But typically my groups are more like 30s and above. So.
But this is very suited for children, very much. We do a lot of family travel, so just keep that in mind. But yeah.
Xander's like one of the. He can fit with adults, he's a cool kid.
Oh yeah. I just saw some kids in some of the videos that you were showing and I was like, okay. Kids are going to be
such a learning experience. But keep in mind, age 12 and up is considered as an adult. It's just known for in Kenya, so it is the same price for 12 and above. But yeah, I mean, it's such a learning experience. I mean, he's going to be, connecting with children of his same age. He's going to be in villages with kids that are like come from a whole different world than he does. But that is such the learning experience. I mean, again, this is not just sightseeing. This is connecting. This is learning. This is discovering. And especially for children and ourselves as adults. I mean, I know this because, again, my first time touching in Kenya was when I was 14. So he'd be a little younger than me. but like it changed my life. It curated the person I am today. It gave me a whole new perspective on life. I mean, again, coming from this world here in the States, we live in a bubble. We really do, you know, in some way, shape, or form. And I just think, especially with children, it's just a learning experience to go out and learn different cultures and, of course, connect with different wildlife. And so it is very much suited for children. And but again, that's why I always start the presentation saying this is just not just a trip. This is not just a vacation. Yeah, you're going and you're exploring. You're not working. You're not like having to like physically do all this like labor stuff. But like it gives you so much more than just what a touristy trip would provide you and offer you, if that makes sense.
You know, Skylar, did you hear it? Like, I think there was a study or statistics of some sort that came out about people who here with roots in Africa. There was this big exodus of African Americans going back to and not, I don't know necessarily Kenya, but yeah, West Africa, maybe all different places, not just 20 like post-COVID or during COVID. Big, I mean, it was like, I mean, it's just some ridiculous number of people went back to live there.
You know, the reason for a lot of this is, and I was telling Julie this before, you know, we are 3 times the demand we ever were before COVID. I'm partnering, you know, we partner with companies and people like Julie, who then, you know, bring on their clients and their travelers, because we don't sell to the public. And so what I mean by that is that we have such a higher demand for agencies and tour operators who would never sell us in the beginning, but now they're looking to provide a new twist to their they call them products. They're what their offerings are. And they're saying there's such a higher demand for more authentic experiences, for more real experiences. People are now, you know, going to Kenya has been a bucket list for, I mean, it's a bucket list for most people. Well, COVID has showed us that tomorrow's not guaranteed. Next year's not guaranteed. So people are allocating more of their funds towards putting it towards travel, especially the bucket list destinations, than putting it towards a new house or a new car, obviously, because interest rates are so high too. But same thing to tie back what you were saying, Anya, is that there's a huge, so I actually read this big article about that too. There's such a higher demand for more African Americans wanting to go back to their roots, and they call it the motherland, because COVID has showed us life's too short. You know, this has been a dream of yours. Do it now rather than later. If that makes sense. So I totally strongly agree with those articles, because there's such a higher demand for people wanting to do bucket list destinations and then going back to their roots, you know. And African Americans, they don't necessarily always know where their roots come from in Africa, but, you know, they want to go to places that.
Yes, that's after the test from genealogy test comes back, and they, you know, if it allocates you properly. It depends on what the pie chart says.
Yeah, true, absolutely. I have a buddy who's like, I mean, he's one of the darkest people you can see in this world, and he said that he has like a small percentage of Polish. I was like, what?
Yes. Oh, usually there will be some white ancestry coming. Yes, usually.
Yeah,
that
crazy.
Yeah.
There's a twist somewhere in there.
Yeah. Right. But ladies, what do you guys think so far? I mean, again, not an answer to say you're booking or not, but just saying, what do you think about this experience? Could you envision yourself wanting to join an immersive journey like this?
I'd love.
I can.
Yeah.
I would love it. It's a dream. Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely in my bucket list. You sold me at that hot air balloon.
And is life changing?
It made me want to sign up early so I can get my $500 discount to pay for this hot air balloon.
Yeah.
There is such.
Yeah, it would.
Hot air balloon. That's your hot air balloon, right there.
Yeah. Basically,
also
get it for free. Book now, you get it for free, basically.
Much.
It's a discount, yeah.
And also, if you were to book your son, or you guys know anybody else that's interested, again, it's $500 per person. So if your son came, that's $1,000 you'd be saving, not just $500, $1,000. If you guys, please keep this in mind. If you guys do know anybody you're trying to kind of, you know, hey, you want to come to Kenya with me and join me on a trip, on an excursion, let Julie know. We can also provide them a private presentation too. So please keep that in mind, because again, I don't know how interested you guys were. I know, Vanya, you had to think about things, but hopefully this presentation was able to really educate you on really what this is all about. Help, you know, whatever that your concerns were, or wherever that may be. I mean,
my hesitations are not with the destination. I promise you that.
Yeah. Perfect. So, but keep that in mind. We are available. We're accessible. We're super accommodative. We want to make sure when you guys book, We're going to get to know if you guys have any food allergies, if you need, I mean, we have people that come with pacemakers that need to be hooked up to electricity all night. Those are the type of things, as a very personable company, I strive my team off the same type of energy I have as well. You're going to see we really want to make sure that this trip is all suited. Yes, you're going with a group, and yes, we can't just change up the itineraries, but we want to make sure we also accommodate to you and yourself as a person, if that makes sense. So,
so if we do book right now, I would be booking as a single occupancy, correct?
Correct, you would.
Okay.
If you end up having your son come or anybody else, and you're going to end up rooming with them, and keep in mind, if you're, let's say you were to bring a spouse or somebody you would share a bed with, we can do a one bed, which is a double, or you can have two beds, which is two twins, if that makes sense. And so if you do say, hey, I'm going to book as a single now, you pay the extra single occupancy. And then if you have somebody else join later, what we do is we deduct that single occupancy supplement from the remaining balance. Does that make sense?
Okay.
You won't be losing out on anything, but we do have to.
But it's $600 for the entire trip, though, right?
For the entire
For the
trip.
single.
Correct. Yes, for the entire trip. For the homestay, I think for the beachfront resort, a little more, but yeah, it's for all 12 nights is $600, not just for the Nairobi. It's all 12 nights.
Okay. Yeah.
And you don't have to pay that 600 now. It's just added to your balance.
Well, no, so what we're going to do is if you know that you're for sure going, but you don't know anybody else, what we do is you add that 600 to the total, and then you take 5% off that.
Yeah.
Off that total.
Okay.
So you're just paying the 30% of the 600.
Yes.
Onto your, from the deposit. And then it gets refunded if you, and you know, like I said, I feel like most of my trips you have about half people book single. And then, you know, if half in a percentage of that do want to have the single room. So there's a good likelihood that, you know, if you want to save that 600, that you could be paired up with somebody. It is just so early now that we don't really know. So, you know, once we
kind of want to be
down,
single.
I mean, it's not that much more.
If you think about it, $600.
It's not bad.
Well, that's $50 a day that you're adding to it to stay in a whole single occupancy. Again, totally up to you. I mean, people, I mean, $600 is a lot, but you know, but again,
but I'm saving the $500, so actually it's only $100.
Yeah, but then you're also paying for the hot air balloon. So however you're saving.
Well, that one I can save up for that.
Gotcha. So yeah, you're right. It's only $100. There you go.
I'm talking about the 30%.
That's why you'd be smart if you really are firmly believe that you're going to do this. I would advise you to take, $500 off. And she's not going to extend this more, so I'm just giving you the heads up. So
right.
And then one thing we do advise is purchase travel insurance. I know, Julie, did you mention you can help assist with that? So we don't help with your pre-travel stuff, so such as your international airfare, your travel insurance. But I would recommend getting travel insurance. You might spend a couple $100, $300 tops more. I don't even think that much. I think it's about $200 to $300. It just guarantees that, again, because that 30% is non-refundable. We have to take that money. We have to secure the properties. So keep that in mind. We'd be losing out if we give that back. So that's why it's non-refundable. But if you get travel insurance and you have any unforeseen event, somebody dies in your family, you get sick, you break a leg and you can't travel, you go through your insurance, you file a claim, they'll send you the money back. I've had plenty of travelers deal with that and they get the full reimbursement back. Say it again.
Yeah, I've done that too. I've helped clients through that. So travel insurance has saved the day, and it's kind of crazy how often we need it to save the day. It's probably been like 20% of my bookings, something goes wrong. So yeah, it's a really good peace of mind.
We always advise it, peace of mind. There's been a couple times, it's only been twice, where somebody, they haven't really directed to us. They directed to the agent because the agent, they book through the agent. But the agent, the person just got mad at the agent. The agent's like, I can't do anything about it. This is their policy. You signed the terms and conditions that state it. And, they had somebody die in the family. And it's like, we can't do anything because we would lose out on it. If I could, I would. But it's just, that's why travel insurance is essential. Just to keep you guys in mind, I know, Vanya, you kind of know the process already. If you do book, how the process would work is that we would send you a DocuSign. The DocuSign is going to have a few different documents. The cool thing about it, it's all digital. You can do it from your computer. You don't need a print. You don't need a scan. You don't need to do anything. It's from your computer or from your phone. It'll have a booking form. It'll have a payment agreement. So the payment agreement, before you guys book, you will need to tell Julie how you're going to pay. If you pay by credit card, we're going to add the 3%. If you say send a check in the mail or a bank wire, then there will be no additional fee. We'll send you a payment agreement, which will have all the details of like, what the deposit, what's the total, the deposit, when's it due by, when's the remaining balance. And then you guys will, that'll be in there. And then also terms and conditions. You guys will provide your credit card or your banking information. It's encrypted, so it's all safe and secured. You'll send it to us, and then our accountant will take that payment agreement. They'll process it. They'll process your payment, and then they'll send you a receipt for the deposit. And that's how the process goes. Then once we receive your deposit, and once we receive your DocuSign with all the filled out information, then you're confirmed booked. Simple, easy. You don't need to print. You don't need to scan. You don't need to do much. It's literally, we want to make this as simple and easy as possible.
And I don't know anything about your payment methods. So I don't see that. It's all handled by the folks in the office at Skyen. So everything's safe and secure with them.
And it's a US company. It's Bank of America and US dollars. So you're not sending any money overseas. We do that. And last but not least, guys, if you're still kind of iffy, go to our website. We have all our Google reviews connected to our website. We've been very blessed. We have never received anything less than a 5-star review, and people write novels of what their experience. You're going to see reviews that were like a week and a half ago. So I encourage you, if you're still on the hesitation, haven't totally sold you yet, read people's reviews. See what they think about our team, about the experiences, about the itineraries. I guarantee that's going to even get you to a whole nother level of interest.
Thank you.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for joining, both of you. I hope to see you in my inbox. And thank you, Skylar, for taking all this time to just walk us through everything and informing us, making us feel really comfortable with the, day-to-day and all. Like, you've obviously done a really thorough job in making this itinerary what it is. And also, it's the reason I chose you guys. So for my own bucket list African safari. So
sure.
Really
Ladies, if you have questions, again, you'll go through Julie, but we're very fast and responsive. I mean, Julie sends me an email. She calls me. We're on texting basis. Ask for the questions, whatever it might be. You want to text, hey, can they handle a gluten-free diet? We'll send it our way. We'll get you answers right away. And then again, leading up to your trip, we'll do the video chats as we a few months out. I just want you guys to make sure that, this is your journey, okay? Please do not book, do not put any money down if you do not think this is the right time or for you. I want to make sure that, again, this is your journey. This has to be the time for you to go on this adventure and really be open-minded and go to a world that's going to change you in so many different ways, touch your senses in so many different ways. But we're with you every step of the way. From this day on till once you guys get back and our team is following up with you, making sure you guys arrive safely back at your home. We're with you every step of the way because, again, going to a place like Africa, it's different than Europe. It's different than going to a different state. You're going to a world that's very different. You stand out. There are unknowns. There are uncertainties. People do know that there's poverty and, things that go on in the continent of Africa. Yes, you're going to see some of that stuff. You're not going to necessarily live in that stuff, and you're going to be in safe, secure arms throughout the entire way. But again, this is your journey. So we just want to make sure I'm accessible. If you guys have some more questions, you need to jump on a call. Let Julie know. We'll schedule a call together. It could be through the phone, whatever that may look like. I just want to make sure you guys feel like we're with you and we're here to support you, whatever decision you make. Because again, this is your journey. I just don't like to ever push this on people because, again, when you feel like this is more of something that you need to do for yourself, then it's more of value to you as opposed to being like, oh, I just need so.
Mm-hmm. Yay. Well, thank you, Skylar. I'll look out for emails from both of you. And have a good night, everybody.
Thank you. Good
Awesome.
night.
Bye.
Take care, guys.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Pleasure.
Hey.
Hope to see you. Hope to see you more.
I do have one more question.
Go for it.
So, like the paintings that you have in your background there, Skylar, like say for instance, just hypothetically speaking, I go and I find a painting, I really love it. Is that something that Skyen can accommodate, like to ship it to my house?
Yeah. So no, well, usually how this works is that, and I have a custom painter that I take all my travel. If you're big into paintings, he has a shop that's literally right next to your beachfront resort. And he's part of the same tribe as my mom, my Kenyan mother. And so he does all my paintings. Oh, I mean, hand done.
That's him. They look
That's
amazing.
Yep, he made that. And he does custom too. So if you were ahead of time and say, hey, I have a picture I want to get painted, or I want to get something ahead of time, you can send it to me and I can have him working on it. So he can then have it done by the time you get there, it's all ready to go. So how it would work is that, yes, there's ways that you could ship it. The best solution to it is that what they're going to do is take it off the canvas. They're going to roll it up in a tube. You're going to carry the tube on with you. Once you get back to the States, you're going to go to a framing shop and have them frame it.
Okay.
So, I mean, this thing is massive. So this is this is huge. I have them all over I have my Masai tribe right here. That's literally like a little bigger than this one. I have my village over there. I have another Maasai over there. So if you're into painting and you're into all that type of stuff, yeah, he's phenomenal. I literally approached him and I told him, because as you could see, the young Simba. So Simba actually means lion in Swahili. So people don't know that. They just think it's the name. It actually means lion. So here's the young Simba looking at his reflection in the water. And you can see, no matter what you are, you always can see your bigger self. So it's resemblance. And this is the Masai Mara. So you're going to see all this. This is Mount Kilimanjaro. You will not be seeing this, but you'll see the same type of animals. You'll actually, when you fly to Mombasa, you will be seeing Mount Kilimanjaro when you fly. So it's a different national park to get to. It's a totally different side of Kenya. It's, it's of where you're going on the other safaris, because there's national parks throughout the whole country. But yeah, this is Masai Mara, which is, I've been to 33 countries. Julie, you probably have me beat because you travel a lot, but you talk about one of the happiest places I've ever been to, you just feel so at peace. It's Masai Mara. Just the animals and just how many different species of animals and humankind live together, together, as opposed to fighting over land and fighting over territory. They live amongst each other, and that's just, you feel so at peace.
I'm gonna cry. I just know I'm gonna cry. Be like,
If you like this, we can get I can have my painter do something similar to that too. And he could add any touches to it. You tell him it's color code, panel you want. Even when you get there, because you'll be spending 3 nights there. When you get there, you could tell him we can arrange it where we can let him know that you're on your way. And then once you get there, you can go talk to him and he can make a painting for you. He's really fast too. He's phenomenal. So sky's the limit. Sky's the horizon. You just gotta
affordable.
Perfect segue.
All right, ladies. Well, you have a wonderful night. Thank you so much for joining us again, and I hope to speak to you guys soon. And Julie will be in touch.
Yeah,
Awesome.
thank you. This has been great.
Thank you. Bye.